Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create convincing car scenes for your storytelling. Although we do not have functional cars in The Sims 4, I'll show you in this video how you can create a convincing car scene. And I'll also take you through a second process, which is without the green screen. Try it and use it if you want, but it didn't turn out how I wanted it, but I still wanted to include this in this video anyway. So let's get right into it. So in the option 1 is the green screen method. This is going to give you the most control over your set camera angles, and it's also perfect if you want close-up shots. So here's what you need. You're going to need a functional car mod green screen setup. You're also going to need your pose animation for the seated driving animations, and the last thing you're going to need is your road footage. So the very first thing is the mod, which is Waronkcc mod. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. A bike override with a car. That's what the mod is. This is what will give you the get in car animation. You can also use any CC car for this method if you don't really want the bike mode, but that means you wouldn't get the get in the car animation. You just have to use the green screen and the pose player to make this work. Next thing I want to touch on is your green scene setup. All you need is a box. Just create a box and have the walls and floors green. This is your green scene setup. It's that easy. Okay, so now that you have your screen scene set up, you're gonna need your sim. When you have your sim, first thing you want to do is obviously get in the car animation, but you don't want to do that because when your sim get in the car, you're going to have to stop the animation playing to play the driving animation. The plan here is we need just the get in the car animation. We don't necessarily want them to drive because we'll be using a green screen to create the illusion that they're gonna drive on a road. Because if you've actually used this mod before, you know where they're gonna drive. They're gonna drive through everything and in everything, and we don't want that. That is why we're using the green screen here. So we just want the get in the car animation part. And the problem here is when you play that part and then you cancel the animation before they start driving, your sim is most likely to put their car in their inventory, and that would change the position that you've placed their car, which I'm sure you've already set your camera angle to start recording. So what we're going to do first is get the driving animation, then we would record the get in the car animation, if that makes sense. Yeah. We're going to get your sim pose in the car first. That's the first animation we are going to record. What you can do is use a teleporter sim object to place your sim right inside the car, and you put your teleporter and then teleport your sim and then pose them. That works. If you want to use wicked whims, which I do, you can pose your sim outside of the car and then move them, enable position and move them in the car. And that's how you get your sim pose. Now that you have that animation recorded of your sim driving, you want to go ahead and now record the get in the car animation. So cancel the animation when you've recorded enough. Go on to do the get in the car animation. Just set your camera, pause, and then set your camera back again and command your sim to get in, and then just record that bit. And now if they get it into their inventory, you don't care because you've already had the animation. The next thing is we are going to move on to recording your road footage, and this can be quite a hassle. If you already know the road you want to record and that's specifically what you want, then that's great. But if you don't, what you need is a straight line. You can record a highway, you can record a regular neighborhood. It could be anywhere. Just record what's the background you want to give or the area that you want your sim to be driving. What you want to do when you know where you want to record is set your camera angles. So from your first point of start, you want to record that. You want to set a camera angle there, and then you set another camera angle to your stop end. You can do it fast, slow, or adjust the speed settings later when you're editing. But how fast your recording is going to give the illusion of whether your sim is like speeding or it's just cruising. So bear that in mind when you're recording your road. If you forget this, you can just edit the speed of your background video when editing. When you have both clips now, what you want to do is bring them into CapCut, and you want to place your car clip on top of your background video. Next, you want to select the car clip and then go to remove background. Here, what you want to do with it is use the chroma key to remove the green screen. or the background, and you want to color pick green. When you color pick green, you should see that it kind of start disappearing. Now we're going to tweak this to make it look clean by setting the intensity and shadow. So you're just going to tweak these to get it looking as clean as you can, and that's it. Now you have your car with the background removed, and you can see it's now showing that it's in your road clip rather than it being in the green screen. And once you have that, you can also do some adjustments and resize your car clip to make it fit in more with the background. A recap of the first method is to record your sim getting into the car and driving in the green screen. Then you want to capture a separate shot of your road or environment that your sim would be driving in. And then in editing, you would overlay the green screen footage onto the road to make it look like your sim is really driving. So the second method is me just testing to see if I can make the functional car mod a bit more usable for storytelling. That didn't really go quite as I planned, but let me just take you through my process. What I did was I set my camera angles. Then the very first thing I did was ask the sim to get on their bike, which is the car. Then I'll go into cinematic mode, record that bit, and when they are in it, I would pause and then ask them to drive to a specific place, obviously not too far in a straight line. Hopefully I get the animation looking right. And although they did drive in a straight line, it's just the car and the movement was not good. It just didn't work out. Okay, so that was that, and I was really looking forward to this working out. At least if I got a smooth a short driving scene, I think that would have been really great. That would mean you don't even have to use a green screen and you could get more environments or more dynamic shots, which would have been really cool. But that didn't work out. But I still wanted to share with you guys in case anybody wants to use it or is able to get a shot that is good enough. Yeah, that is something you can do, because I really love the get into the car animation bits that you get. I think it's so cool. That's why I love this mod. And yeah, that's that, and that's the end of this video. Again, if you want to do the green screen bits, you don't have to use this functional car mod. You can use any CC car and that would just work fine. It just means you're not getting the car animation bit for your video, but I'm sure most people don't even mind. So that's that for this tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you found this video useful, please let me know in the comment section. I appreciate the feedback, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.